Okay. Can anybody hear me now? I'm just hoping that you guys could be able to hear me. Let me see. Because now I think we're having a little technical difficulties. All right. All right. So now I'm hoping that I can be able to. Okay, so I think I'm on now. So I'm hoping that you guys could be able to hear me tonight. All right, so I was trying to be able to state about District 156A and my thoughts and everything about the first half of the district. Man, Magnolia is doing a really good job. And like I said, Friday night, I'll be out at Magnolia for the homecoming game against Klein Forest. And then Thursday, I'll be at Klein Memorial Stadium at Bush Diaz Field, where it will be Mag West taking on Klein. This district has been very interesting and everything. I take a look at this district and I say that this is probably one of the best districts I've seen in quite some time. Uh, Mag West, they have been doing some struggling for Thursday game against Klein. Klein has done a wonderful job. They have a brand new head football coach. Let me make sure if I can be able to get his name correct. One moment, y'all. Give me 1 second. No, no, I'm at the wrong one. Let's see. Let's see. His name is Nick. I think it's Coda. Not saying that right. I said it right. His name is Nick Coda, I think. And they have had back-to-back loss, which in case that is kind of tough for Klein. But I do think that Klein is one of those teams that could be able to sneak themselves into the playoffs if they could be able to get some significant wins. They beat up Klein Kane real bad. They started out 3-0, and then well, actually 4-0, I should say, and then they lose 2 games. Klein Collins in a close one, just like Tomball in a close one. And Koduddy. That's his name, Koduddy. So he's from Forshire, and he has really done a really good job this year. They're 4-2. They're 2-2 in district. Mag West. They got a lot of work to do this weekend. I do think that this Mag West team can be able to at least surprise some people. And I truly believe that Ben McGehee is going to do everything he can on his end to make sure that his team can be able to bounce back and try to be able to do something. So we are, like I said, I'm going to be ready for a Friday game or Thursday game for that one. Friday game, Craig Martin and his Magnolia Bulldogs, they're on the road right now, knocking off Klein Kane last Saturday night. Derek Munn and his squad from Klein Forest got a huge win over Tomball Memorial, high scoring affair. Some got to give on Friday, and it should be a very good one, very entertaining one. I'm looking forward to this Magnolia matchup against Tomball and then Magnolia and Klein Collins and see can Magnolia stay undefeated. Um, their defense is very good. They're in the top 5 in the state, not just in the state, in the greater Houston area, top 10 in the state. Defensive wise, they have some dogs when it comes to total yards on defense. And the key is can Magnolia safeties and secondary crew shut down Kevin Davis as well as Jakari Jefferson. I'm sorry, James Robinson and that Klein Forest offense. So time will tell on what that situation will be like. But I can't wait to be able to see that matchup that will be coming up real soon. So now let's get to college football. Highly disappointed in my Texas Longhorns. I'm hoping that this Saturday, the Red River rivalry matchup against Oklahoma, we will have a better implication on what Texas is going to do. Arch Manning, a lot of people have put him as a Heisman favorite. Now he's not in the Heisman race or anything like that. Texas offense got to be able to bounce back. They got to do better. Offensive line got to block. And I do think that, Sark not going into the transfer portal, be able to get some offensive alignments like he did last year. I think that did kind of hurt Texas some. The defense has always been good, but last week against Florida, they got exposed. But I do feel that this Saturday is it's a big one for Texas. They got to beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma looking pretty good. They're saying that John Mateer is going to be out the game, but I don't think that he'll be out the game. I think that if they put Mateer in the game, it could be a long day for Texas unless that broken hand is in good use. Michael Hawkins Jr. He is the quarterback so far. He did a pretty good job last week against Kent State, but only big test that Oklahoma has had this year was against Michigan. But I think that Texas should win that game. They're 3.5 point favorite to win that game. NFL, we're going to go ahead and try to close this out real quick. Just having a little technical difficulties with, I guess, with the internet and everything. I'm not too sure why my live stream is not working. Both Cowboys and Texans, up and down, up and down. Dallas, they are trying to do the best they can. I think that offense has done a wonderful job. Dak Prescott, MVP type player. George Pickens has stepped up after CeeDee Lamb has been hurt. The problem with Dallas is the defense. And I don't know what Matt Eberflus is doing, but what I can be able to say is that they got to get themselves together. And we got Rico Dowell and the Carolina Panthers this weekend in Carolina for this Sunday. We just got to get ourselves together, bounce back. We got the big win over the Jets. Texans got a bye week. And then after the bye week, they host the 49ers in 2 weeks here at NRG Stadium here in Houston. And a lot has to be able to deal with, can the offense score points for the Texans? They did against the Ravens, a depleted Ravens team. And everybody had the Ravens to go to make a run for the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and those guys. And lately, the Ravens have not been the same. They gave up 44 points last week to the Texans. Not too sure who the Ravens going to play this week, which in case, let me see. Ravens should be able to. It should play. Let me see what they're going to play this week. They're going to play the Rams at home, but that's going to be, that's going to be this Sunday. Doesn't look pretty good for the Ravens so far, but they got a lot of work to do. Then they host the Bears, and then make the trip to Miami to take on the Dolphins. But after the Rams game, they're going to have the bye week. So a lot of saying about football this year, and in a couple of weeks, I will be able to go on the show. Well, actually, this upcoming weekend, I will be able to go back on the show. Hopefully, I can be able to get this internet thing working together. And that way, you guys can be able to see me live. But until then, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is Darren Jackson. If you guys want to be able to watch me on Thursday, please watch me on tsbnsports.com. I will be able to announce it on X on both for Thursday and Friday game. Until then, you guys have a wonderful night.